Free Market Foundation, Mr. Law, and Mr. Marias from First National Bank. I've seen a lot of our local business people here, friends. To the people of Ngwathe and those who are visitors. Bommele bontate ba ena le dikgaitsedi ba tla fumana title deeds tsa bona letsatsing lena la kajeno. Reverend Leboa and other ministers who are here. The acting HOD, Mr. Duma. I'm happy today, and I think Free Market Foundation and Ngwathe Municipality, including the sponsors and the legal people who have assisted Ngwathe to arrive where we are today, it is indeed an honor. If Lehopola, we used to sing songs like Mabawuyeke umhlaba wethu. I can remind you about those songs. Unfortunately, they are in Zulu. Mabawuyeke mabawuyeke umhlaba we mabawuyeke mabawuyeke umhlaba we thina sizwe lezi sikhalela izweli elathathwa. The song is just saying, let them leave our land, the land which was taken from its rightful owners. And in the history, we have never blamed white people. We have always blamed the white apartheid colonial system. We have never fought against human beings called whites. Our struggle was conducted on the basis that all human beings in South Africa belongs to this country. And I would like to read the Freedom Charter of 1955. Ekvelnet, the Vryheid Manifest, re ke re shebe hanyane fela lekwalo la tokologo le baholo ba rona ba ileng ba lengola ka 1955. And I want to read some clauses, maybe 2 or 3 clauses. The first clause of the Freedom Charter. Remember, Freedom Charter is one baby, lena le melao e leshome. So that we bring today, what is happening today, we bring it to reality. And our dream, why we have fought for freedom. The first clause of the Freedom Charter, Ekalam Freedom Charter ere, batho ba tla busa. The people shall govern. Die mense sal regeer. Ke se lekwalo la pele Freedom Charter is itjho. And that's why people are participating. Ho etsa melao South Africa. That's why mmuso ha o batla ho etsa dintho pele o batlang ho utlwa hore batho ba etsang. That's why we take very long to do certain things. But it's because we want people to determine their own destiny. The tempo and pace. Now, the second clause of the Freedom Charter says all national groups shall have equal rights. And irrelevant that is clause today, because if you read it, all national groups shall have equal rights. All apartheid laws and practices shall be set aside. When I was 1955, today, all apartheid laws and practices shall be set aside. So the Land Act shall be set aside. And Haratusa Mulao Onu Olangwa is 1913. Mole Fasila Batu Baba Sulile Langua Hobon. And Free Market Foundation, Mr. Law Uri. And I will read from a Free Market Foundation quotes. We rejected as free market the myth that under apartheid, blacks supposedly had 13% of land available in this country. In fact, they had none of it. So, Huchobana Free Market Foundation, Barenze retails are about Babas 13%. 87% in the Mazong Ababas Ufela, in fact, Mutremutu, Le Fasilas Alilungua Asnalito. And they continue, I would like to quote from them. What Ngwathe is doing here today is turning capital that has been dead since 1913 into dynamic capital. From now on, you, the residents of Ngwathe, and hopefully, in time, all black landowners throughout South Africa, instead of submitting to being passive and insecure, henceforth be empowered and confident. Jwale ba re ka jeno lena lona batho ba Ngwathe, batho ba mona Paresi Tumahole. Ho tloha ka jeno lena, mme ke se FNB le yona e se tjhong. Because ba re the most valuable asset of the people in Ngwathe and elsewhere is released into the economy. It will stimulate the economy of the whole South Africa. How fua lefatshe ka jeno le? Ntlo ya hao le lefatshe leno le na le boleng. O kaya FNB mane wa rekisa hobane lefatshe ke moruo. So letsatsing lela la ka jeno, we are not giving you electricity. We are not giving you water. We are not building you a house. We are giving you your dignity. Wabana ba hlaileng apartheid is a 1994 post. Ho bona lefatshe a se ntho ya bohlokwa. If you go to Zimbabwe, if you go to Mugabe, and at times people say Mugabe wahlanya, Mugabe ulwanela ntwe lung rasio, is because ko Lancaster, ma Britannia ba fetsa nka lefatshe. Mugabe a fetsa nka lefatshe, ba ile ba dumellana re ba tla khutlisetsa lefatshe to the rightful owners. Me Britain did not stick and adhere to the Lancaster agreements. That's why Mugabe alwanela mbatho ba hae balwanela ntwele nngwe fela. Mabawuyeke mawubuye umhlaba wethu. And the batho ba Zimbabwe baya lelima lefatshe leno because lefatshe le ka producer ntho tse ka o fepa. How na le lefatshe you can build a house. And that's what Free Market Foundation and the government of the day is saying today. With such valuable liquid assets, FNB says the community as a whole, rather than all individuals, will become bankable. First National Bank. Or the community as a whole will become bankable, which means that many people in the community will qualify even without their land being used as security for a wide range of financial products and services. And it is hard to think of a single idea that will boost South Africa more than this project being launched in Ngwathe today. The unleashing of the wealth in land into the hands of the people and through them into the economy at large. So, Major Muchel, it is so important. Now, the Freedom Charter in clause number 4. Agre baby le mana ba ska utswa ska bolaya gore ke melao e lesho. Now go balla melao e leshome e ba holo ba rona ba ileng ba ngola ka 1955. Bar. Maybe let me read this one first. But clause 4 says, the land shall be shared amongst those who worked it. Lefatshe le tla arolelwana batho bohle ba le sebetsang. And then it says, restrictions of land ownership on racial basis shall be ended. And all the land redivided amongst those who worked in it to banish famine and hunger and land hunger. Iri lefatshe lena ha le no abelwa batho le beng ba lona ho ya ka mmala wa letlalo la bona. No racial basis e tla determine land ownership. And it is true. And I agree that I don't know why it has taken us so long to give people their title deeds. But you know, you can go anywhere in the world. The Americans can tell you. The British can tell you. Africa can tell you. We are lucky as South Africa because we are walking the talk. In 1912, when the African National Congress was established, Mandela. 1912 Mandela was not the leader of the ANC. But by forming ANC in 1912, Bontate Dube, Maraana Aruna Atswambu Bechwana Lente, Boswazilente, Bolosoto Bo Zimbabwe, Kaofela Bane Babukani Mo. Bailebari. We want a non-racial, non-sexist, united and democratic, prosperous South Africa. A non-racial, non-sexist, united and democratic, and probably prosperous South Africa. In 1912, re batla South Africa e kenyeletsang batho e sa natse motho ka letlalo la skin sa hae. Ha o le motsho le mosweu, if you are white or black, you are a human being. ba re batla South Africa e sa natse mega pantate botona le botshehadi, because mme le ntate ke ntho e le nngwe, ke human beings. A woman and a man, we are human beings. Ba re batla a united South Africa. E seng ele re ra ifuwa wa the Mozulu o tla dula Zululand, wa the Moxhosa o tla dula Ciskei and Transkei, wa the Motswana o tla dula Bophutatswana, wa the Movenda o tla dula Vendaland. Then re batla South Africa e nang le democracy, where people shall talk and practice. That's why re dumelletseng dikereke ba rapelang ba khumame, ba rapelang ba emi, ba dumelang ho Jesu Kriste, ba dumelang ba apostola, because ke tumelo ya hao. Re ke so forced who follow a particular religion. Una le freedom of choice. That's what the people of South Africa have fought for. After batho ba batsho ba exclude ha ba fetsa ho lwana dintwa tsane tsa bo Anglo-Boer war, iba masole ba lwana le ma-Britani, re lwantsha ba-Britani le ba bang, we black and white in South Africa le ma-Afrikaner. Mara ba fetsa nka ho wina ntwa yeno ba former Union of South Africa, ya ba ba re batho ba batsho ha ba tlowe, ke ka ho mokgatlo ona o lathewa wa ANC. Mme ka 1955 ba ngola lekwalo lena la Freedom Charter. And Freedom Charter clause number 9, there shall be houses, security and comfort. Ho tla ba le matlo, batho ba tla phela safe life, mme ho dula ka boiketlo. Ke toro ntho eno mme e etsahetse ka 1994. Ntho e predictilweng ka 1912, 1955 ya kwalwa into the Constitution of South Africa ka 1996, the Grondwet van Suid-Afrika 1996. Batho ba nkileng karolo to produce that document. And that's why vandag is on the rijkdom van die land moet deur die mense verdeel. The wealth of the country must and shall be shared amongst batho ba rona kaofela. And I want to emphasize, and that's why Nelson Mandela ko Rivonia trial aileng are, and that's what we must never repeat. I'm against white domination, but I'm also against black domination. Whites in this country are few. Black people, Africans, are majority. But nevertheless, because of the lessons of apartheid, we have been taught one thing, not by Mandela, by the ANC. So if you are a member of the ANC, if you are a leader of the ANC, you understand one thing: no black domination and no white domination. We must live side by side in South Africa. We must feel that we belong to this country and this country is ours. Because if we belong to this country, we will build a better future for the generations to come. So kajeno lena re batla hore lefatshe le important haholo. The land is so important. We may be giving you a piece of land and there is no house. Mohlomong wa ifumana title deed mara ha ona ntlo. Mara re go bolelle title deed ya hao important ho feta ntlo ena re ahileng. Because lefatshe la hao le kgutletse ho wena, the rightful owner. And that's why I think it's an important day to celebrate. And we are here to celebrate with you. we are here to celebrate our heritage. Landing heritage ya rona. That's why re tlamehile wa motlotlo ka jeno le. And say thanks to those who have worked together and hard. Lawyers, municipalities, and we must work more, harder and harder and harder and harder and build. And if we have to do so, it's a small step. Luena mena sa dumelwa ba le ntlo ka palefatsi. O tla ifumana tokomane ya hao ka jeno. Don't sell your land. Ke lefa leo ka le fitisetsang baneng ba hao. Ska le rekisetsa motho o mong. Your children ibe bona ba jang lefa la hao. Ho ska ba le motho ya tlang mo a ba re tswa mona lefatsheng lena. Ba tsama ba change title deeds and change them into their own land and names. Boloka your title deed safe. And when you transfer it to your own children. Because it's an important document, it's your heritage, it's part of you. Ke seriti sa hao. Ha se fetele ho ba hao. Bana ba hao ba tlohelle ho tseka ntho tse seng tsa bona. Re tsebe ha o so fetile. O ifitisetsa ho mang ownership eno ya lefatshe. E tle rosane ba ditjhaba. Ra ska rarana re kentse batho matlongwana RDP. Kante a occupied ke so-called foreign people. This land and houses must not be occupied by people you don't know where they come from. You must be proud as South Africans, black and white. And let's build this country together. And I give out our fella hollow. Naga utlwa ke motlotlo gore re amohela ntwe ya bohlokwa ho feta motlakase, better than electricity, better than a third road, better than a stadium. How so can we utlwisisa taba yeno? Ka nnete a sa tla utlwisisa. That's why unona le mokgatlo ba reng ke PAC. Bara umhlaba wethu mawubuye. Bona ba re rwanela fela mohlaba fela. Hana ntho tse ngata tse ba di batla. Ba batla mohlaba because mohlaba ke ntho ya bohlokwa. But le rona re le mokgatlo. That's why e leng teng ntho ena ya freedom charter. Ya hore lefatshe le tlamehile ho kgutla. Haibuya. O buile mohlaba. O buile mohlaba. The whole of this month and November, as the Free State government, we are taking our people, even business people, to Robben Island. I had a pleasure of going with business people, black and white, a month ago to Robben Island. And over the weekend, I had an opportunity to take them to Lily's Leaf Farm and the Apartheid Museum and Hector Peterson Museum and Mandela Museum in Soweto. Because people from the world come to South Africa, tourists from the world, rich and poor. They come to South Africa, they go to Robben Island. South Africans, black and white, even leaders, they talk about Robben Island. They have never seen it. If you go to Robben Island and you go and see what happened to Mandela and Sisulu and many others, you will want to say never again. Never again. No more racial discrimination. Ha o ka ya Robben Island, pelo ya tla khutla iqhitsa madi. O ka ya Selenyane ya Mandela ya. O lo qetella mane mo Robert Sobukwe ana dutse dilemo-lemo. Now I stayed in solitary confinement for 9 months. And I almost went mad. O ka se dule 9 months o le mong in a police cell called a toilet. And you don't see anybody. Now think about Robert Sobukwe. Far away from Mandela and the others. Alone for many years. And the only thing he could do was to smoke. The only thing Robert Sobukwe could only do was to smoke. Because that kept him doing something. So when you come from Robben Island, you will definitely say, never and never again. So Rizabo Majoro, they must encourage people and have an child they must follow Babanke about Balisa Robben Island. So that you see, I was happy to go with black and white and very rich people. And when we came back, we all agreed that we must go and work and build a better South Africa. So that the generations to come, you see these generations of today of drugs, of alcohol, of ill discipline and young people who don't respect adults. That's the generation which is going to run the country tomorrow. And those people who are selling drugs, Bona, they are happy because their children go to universities, they attend the most expensive schools. And when I'm so jadi drugs, when you are supposed to go to school, because the doors of learning and culture, freedom chatting, when there is free education, you young people are still refusing to go to school. The only treasure is education. Hauna le faleli. You are there to harass and rape elderly people. So, I just want to conclude by saying, here is your ownership today. Invest in your land. Full ownership with no restrictions. Phelang ha monate le ka boiketlo. Live in peace and harmony. And libine jwale ka bana ba Israel ha ba tswa Egepeta. Re ka bina jwang difela. Le a tseba ke. Ka ba ke bua le batho ba sa tsamayeng kereke bana. So I just want to say to Free Market Foundation, Ngwathe Municipality, the lawyers, business people, let us build a better South Africa. Let us build a better Free State. Let us build a better Ngwathe. Let us build a better Paris. The future is in our hands. It is not in government's hands. The future will be determined by you people, black and white, in this town called Paris. Mme re tla boela re khutlela ho lona ka kgwedi ya November. Ha re bula stadium mona. We'll come back to you. We're gonna spend 5 days here. ha re bula ditsela. This town, if they can plan it better, municipal employees, if they can think out of the box, they can make this town to grow. This town is an important town. We are not having a broader vision. We are still thinking within the box. And the only thing which can make Paris tick is if you can bring all the brains together. This area is a jewel. It needs strategic thinkers. It doesn't need people who think for today, ad hoc thinking. Today we're gonna do this, tomorrow we're gonna do this, you plan again next year, you plan again next year. We should be knowing for the next 10 years, in terms of the National Development Plan, which streets you are going to repair and fix for this year and next year and the other year and the other year and the other year and the other year. So that you don't plan the budget. This year you plan for 2 kilometers. Next year you plan for another 2 kilometers. Say you want to do all the roads of Paris in 10 years. And say year one, which are the most important roads we must do, which stimulates the economy of Paris. And start with those roads. So think aloud and think better and work better. So collaboration with free market and everybody, all stakeholders, FNB, thank you for your hard work, and we hope you won't just work together with Ngwathe municipality, but we can also work with us as a province to ensure that we bring back the dignity of our people. Ek wil net sê baie dankie geniet die dag.